Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, Nestlemania alongside for the ride is a man that, well, let's just say it, folks. He lights it up. He's very excited. She's back. JC.
I hope you guys are ready for an uninterrupted hour of AJ Lee talk. Because I literally just said to Mr. Nestlemania before we went on air, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do in Royal Rumble season because this was the last one I had left. I've got my Cody. I've got my Shelton. Even got like my Rusevs and all the little ones. I mean, I guess Maven's really the only outlier, but that ain't happening. But now that AJ's back, like this was the big one. This was one of the big tentpole ones. Like this was the one. And she's back, baby. She's back.
So I guess the only thing to do is really start with everyone's your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler has returned. I guess the floor should be yours, considering you've wished for this for God knows how long.
Yeah, my favorite women's wrestler of all time is AJ Lee, and she's back, always in the shine, much like AJ Lee. And much like AJ Lee, she is, like you just said, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. I am your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster. So we have that in common, baby. But yeah, no, I'm pumped in Jack Nestlemania. Obviously on SmackDown, it really felt like it was happening. I mean, we talked about it literally last week. They're like, if this isn't AJ, what the fuck are they doing? But I loved how in Punk's promo, he mentioned Bayley and all the rumored ones. But the minute he got out of that ring and was walking around, I was like, we're about to light it up. And it delivered. She was wearing the outfit, doing the skips in full character. Just, it's AJ Lee is always special. And part of the reason why I always enjoy her is because it just like, there's just something about her where just like, it's believable. And she's just so quirky enough where it's just like, I don't think she has to act that hard because I think she's just naturally like that. And I think like it's very easy to gravitate towards that, especially as like a character. So I was thrilled with how they did it on SmackDown, and we can get into Raw after, obviously. But I thought this was well done.
You know, it's funny because you always hear how much he loves his wife, but like that was like the manifestation and the visualization of him being a wife guy. Like you could just see him being excited for his wife for that moment because I'm assuming it was emotional for him to come back to AEW and then come back to wrestling and then come back to WWE and that whole thing and that to me is like an all-time thing. But to watch her come back and see him be happy for his wife, you can say what you want about Phil Brooks or CM Punk, but like I was sitting there being like happy for him, being happy for her. Like I thought that was such a cool thing. And she didn't really have to say anything on Friday, which was great. She kind of just skipped around and then beat the smack out of Becky Lynch there.
Which, a shiner.
The thing that I thought was really well done was that SmackDown didn't involve any of these four people. Like they don't belong on SmackDown. Obviously, SmackDown was in Chicago. Yeah. I really love that Becky Lynch came out and kind of poked the bear, and Seth Rollins was in the stands, which I thought was really nice here because he couldn't save his wife right away. And then Punk comes out, he gets slapped. And then she comes out and does her thing and took her time, which I thought was like, for not being in the wrestling business for 10 years and still having the instincts that she had was really interesting to me. Cause I was sitting there going, I wonder if she's going to rush something. I wonder if she's going to stop doing something. It was like, she just unpaused and there she was. So it was fascinating to me that she could do that. And then of course it ensued with what happened on Friday. I don't know if you want to switch gears, but before we get there, our boy Dommy lit up our text chain between the three of us, which I got 24 text messages in the morning after, which I was like, guys. And then you were like, if the GOAT's around, we got to talk. Yeah. But he did make an interesting comment here, which again, beggars can't be choosers. We love Dommy on the pod because he's one of our boys. But he did say he didn't love the execution because it felt a lot like what happened on the past Monday Night Raw, where he had gotten beat up again and belittled by Becky. Obviously, there's a payoff to it this time around. I'm just curious your thoughts, JC, or at least yell back into the abyss here to talk about what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough with things like this in wrestling nowadays because I don't disagree with what Dom said. I actually do agree, but I also agree that how they did it is how they had to do it because just like for some perspective, the SmackDown the week before was the lowest rated SmackDown they've had in I think it was 5 or 6 years. It was just a really bad number because it's just kind of that time of year. Like we've talked about on this podcast, how we have some fatigue in general, and that show in particular is very up and down. The face of that show isn't around right now because he had a kid in Cody. Shout out my guy Cody. But it's in a weird thing. a weird place. So obviously they were in Chicago, so that was the spot to do it. It's not on their regular show, but you had to. I think they on purposely made it pretty freaking obvious, and they probably even leaked it to whoever reported that it was happening, because it's one of those things where it's like, we are telling you AJ Lee is going to be there, and if you want to see it, you better flip over and watch it. So that's just kind of how it works nowadays. I mean, they did do like things like this back in the day, not to these extremes, but is it perfect from a storytelling perspective and this and that and whatever? No, of course not. But I completely get why they did it. It doesn't mean Dom's wrong. I actually, like I said, I agree with what he said, but I just think the way they did it was smart for business wise and rating wise. Like, I haven't seen the numbers. I had a busy weekend, but I'm sure they were freaking huge, especially for that segment. So that's my assumption of why they did it. And I think it worked out for them.
You want to move on to Monday?
We can move on to Monday Nestlemania, because AJ came out on Raw with the IC title, which she held on to, and she looked pretty damn good with the title, like she always does. So it was great to see that skipping around. She got therapy chants going from wrestling fans, not once, not twice, but several times. So that was highly entertaining. And then obviously out comes Becky, out comes Seth, then out Punk, and we get the tag team match set for WrestlePalooza as we expected, which they're absolutely trying to load this card for ESPN with big names and big matches. So it was a fun segment. It was nice. AJ Lee, like, if someone just turned this on, I'd never seen her before, they'd probably be like, man, that was like awkward. She's awkward on the mic. And it was just like, but as those of us who've seen AJ Lee forever, like, no, that's just her. She's just kind of quirky. And it just like, that's just how she comes out. And that's why I think like literally everyone is a fan to her, because it's just so endearing how it is. She was very real in that promo. I enjoy her and Becky have a nice little dynamic going. Becky's doing a good job too. So this was another fun segment. I look forward to what they do next week's in the go home, but sure sounded like she's sticking around for a bit in Nestlemania and going to do a little run here. And there is a ton of matches I would love to see her have. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Sounds like a possible, I don't know, Jobber Knocker article, or maybe a power rankings for JC, perhaps.
Oh God.
You haven't done that in like 7
I mean,
years.
my number one is her against Sasha, which can't happen at the moment. But
no, I know. But I mean, you know that Roxanne Perez match has to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for
Corey
sure.
Jade, probably will come back
there anymore either. But there is a long list, because a lot of these women she has never really been in the ring with. And I can tell you this, as we hear all the time, a lot of people ask these women who their dream matches. A lot of them say AJ Lee, because everyone grew up loving AJ Lee.
Yeah, I don't know. As I say, Joe says didn't have therapy chance on my bingo card after that better help game. I agree. I thought Monday was very interesting to me, because I think I put a tweet out, but it was the same thing that I was thinking about. Was she's very I think you kind of said it, but it's a little bit different from my perspective. Is she's very charming. She's very likable. And she's very warm and weird, and almost at times overacting. But I think you can look past that, because it's not overacting. Like you said, it's more of a personality trait. So it's just like, it works for that particular person. Yes. I think the issue that I'm going to have, which again is probably just me being me, and I'm sure they'll address it, or maybe they won't address it. I don't know. But like the whole reason that AJ Lee was so big back then was because of the AJ was kind of nuts mentality. Went to therapy, had a journey, the whole thing. It's like, is she still nuts, or is she just a wife who wants to defend her man, which that's fine. And I'm curious what transpires with the character going forward, because I don't know. I am curious, like with the mental health thing, if it's kind of like maybe we should pivot and do something a little different, just a little bit, because it feels like maybe if we go back to the well for too much, it doesn't make any sense anymore. I don't know.
I think she's just permanently over. They don't have to try with her. It's easy. Like, they can bring her back. She's obviously, it's been 10 years. She told us in that promo what she did when she was gone, why she left, things she accomplished. So it's just like, it's a simple thing. It's like, because look, at people evolve. That's the beauty of wrestling, is they do character changes on purpose. That's why we love watching the evolution of people, because that's how it is in real life too. And 10 years is a very long time, and her life is drastically different. So, but I think in her case, it's just one of those, like, she's just going to be over. She's one of those people, like, I'm not the only one who's been begging for her to come back forever. There is a long list of people. So, and I always said I wanted her back more than I wanted CM Punk. And I wasn't joking. even though it sounded like I might have been. I wasn't. So I think they know they don't have to try with her. And I think like there's enough. I'm assuming she's not going to be back here forever. It's not going to be a long term. She'll probably be part-time coming in and out, but it's like there are so many people, like we said, that she hasn't faced yet. Everything's going to feel fresh for her, man. So I think they just know like they have free money here, and she's better than Nikki Bella. So Nikki, they might need to do some work to make it more interesting or make it last. We can talk about her match with Asuka later if you want, or soon. Who knows? I'm curious how you thought. But AJ, I think, is just such a different, because we've seen it with CM Punk. Like, he's just over. People don't care. Like, they're happy he's here. And I think it's the same thing with AJ.
Okay. Well said. Anything else you want to say, or you want to get out of the
I'll let you pick the next shine, because I need a breather, because I'm still very happy she's back.
I will say this much. I'm going to go to SmackDown very quickly, and there are portions of this thing that I really, really, really enjoyed. So I'm just going to put it in the shine. I'm sure you're going to have parts that you fucking hate, but I thought the opening segment with Cena and Sami Zayn was very good. Paying it forward, U.S. Open Challenge. The crowd really was giving it to Sammy.
Oh, I love that in particular.
Yeah, I mean,
the rant I went on last week. I know it's not related, but I just thought it was fucking hilarious.
I mean, I didn't expect it, but
no, because Sammy never gets booed. But it's like they wanted fucking Lesnar to come out, and it's John Cena in the ring. So
it was tough. But I just love I love John Cena's callback to all these other foes. I love that Michael Cole kept fucking him up. That was even funnier. So it was just like, I just love the whole thing about like the style stuff and like the KO bombs and like just the ankle locks.
The edge that he called Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it was just like so many things. The GTS, the crowd pop for that, obviously. It was just so much fun. And then I was sitting there thinking like, okay, Lesnar's definitely coming back. Double down. There he is. And I thought it was really well done. And like people were complaining. They were like, I know that WWE tried to stack this because we all were going to watch for AJ Lee, and we're all going to talk about AJ Lee, and we're not going to talk about Brock Lesnar, and they're just going to put him under the radar, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, listen, I'm not defending Brock Lesnar by any stretch, but if you see that man face to face, you're not going to fucking talk shit.
Also, let's get real. Is the people saying that are below the 1% of like wrestling fans? Because do you see the numbers every Brock Lesnar video gets? And you hear like people, it's like, yeah, like we know like that he's probably a piece of shit. Like it's very likely, but it's fucking wrestling. People don't care. That's been proven. Unless if you're like extreme or like if it comes out and proven, like whatever, but it's one of those things like it's like people don't fucking care. And like I know it's people want to have their small percentages are gonna complain, but like WWE's not stupid. Just look at those fucking numbers. Every single thing they post of him comes out. Like it's a no-brainer for them until they're told they literally can't have him on the show. Why wouldn't they? It would be insane behavior not to.
I mean, the man makes money. I mean, that you just look at him. He's a one of one human. So I mean,
one of the biggest stars they've ever had. Like he's a cross promotional guy too. Like, and he's just like he's one of the most believable actual people they've ever had too. Because we know he can kill people.
I mean, I don't condone whatever or may or may not, but like at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, they have to be pretty confident. Like, you know what I mean? They don't just
gonna come out, or it's like it's some of it's true, some of it we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We have no idea exactly. We're not gonna sit here and debate. I mean, we'll get the information when it comes, if it does. So
it probably will never.
And honestly, John Cena versus him is gonna probably headline, and so it's gonna stack it in a way that makes so much sense. I mean, you would hope that AJ Lee would be the last thing on the card, but with Brock Lesnar and John Cena,
AJ would like the opener.
Well, if you don't get the end, you want to start hot, as we always say. So
yeah,
I get that. But I was very interested to see what happens. It feels like John's going to try to do a lot more here. We'll see. I don't know.
He's going to take a lot of suplexes. We know that.
Well, yeah. Welcome to Suplex City, bitch.
We do. What I need Cena to give him a bunch of suplexes and then F5 him. Brock will be about that too.
I think Brock's a very smart businhimman, so I think he knows.
He loves Cena. He talks about it all the time. Like, he loves wrestling those guys, like the Cenas, the Codys, because he knows himself. He goes, I am one of the greatest heels ever. Give me the greatest baby faces ever. Like, that's why those matchups feel extra special, because it's the two ends of the spectrum.
I think the other thing too is just not to gush over this idea of like this matchup, but like the idea of John Cena fighting Brock Lesnar just one more time is interesting to me from the aspect of like with Brock Lesnar's that sense of like danger and that sense of like you really don't know what's going to happen. So you're just watching it on the edge of your seat. Like that first time when he came back all those years ago and there was Extreme Rules and you just saw him like fly through the air off the apron over the top rope. And I'm like, what the fuck are we watching here? It's just, there's that sense of like, holy shit, I really don't know what I'm watching with Brock Lesnar and John Cena. So I just think they're going to pull out all the stops, especially being the first thing on ESPN. But oh shoot, I was going to say something else and now I forgot it, but it was in Brock Lesnar territory too. Oh, well, it'll come to me at some point, but I'm just interested to see, what's going to happen with this matchup for sure. Because WrestlePalooza is getting stacked, like from top to bottom.
It's the first show on ESPN, so they got to do it. They know what they're doing. I mean, they want people to buy those subscriptions, so they're going all out. We have, I think, 4 matches booked so far, and we're probably going to get Drew and Orton, and that'll be a Cody return. So they're going to have everything.
So I do want to bring this up because you had kind of a thought on this, I believe. It's not Brock. I'm sorry, it's Cena. Cena's not retiring in Boston, which we thought was a slam dunk. We found out that it was money, money, money. Who do you trust? DC is getting the nod apparently for the Saturday Night's Main Event in December, is what we've been told. I'm curious your thoughts on that, because my original thought was, I know Cena's a businessman, but if it was me, the person, I would be like, I would like to retire where I started, where I came from in West Newbury, as close as I possibly could. But that seems to not be happening here. It's not even close to the end. It's like 2 or 3 appearances before the end, where he's in Boston. So I hope that's a special one, maybe for his dad. I'm curious your thoughts on it, JC, and then I have something else I want to bring up.
I mean, it sucks, but Boston is notoriously cheap with things like this. They don't pony up for entertainment to bring to the city. They always get outbid in these situations. We see it in sports. We see it in other types of things. Like it's something Boston's known for, whereas like a DC or a Chicago, like they're going to pay to bring it to their city because they understand A, it is good for the economy, and B, it is a cool thing. But yeah, it definitely sucks. But I know from Cena's perspective, he says it all the time. He's like, I do what they ask me to do. I always have, I always will. If the people in charge think it's a good idea or say it's the right thing or this is how we make money, I will do it because that's what he does. So yeah, I'm sure part of him would like prefer it that way. But at the end of the day, he's about as company man as there's ever been, which is why he's been as successful as he's been, because for the company to fully buy into him, he has to fully buy into the company. So it's not surprising. It's disappointing, but it's the way the world works, man. Money always wins. Surprised his last match isn't in Saudi Arabia, to be honest.
Boston wouldn't pony up for New Fenway. Forget Cena.
Yeah, they don't like, it's just, this is something Boston's never done because the people in charge don't value entertainment and sports like the city does.
It's amazing to me that they don't have a dome, like a real dome, but like we're never going to get the Super Bowl anyway. So whatever.
It's not even in Boston. It's in Foxborough, bro.
I know.
It's like freaking an hour away.
I know.
That's what's, yeah. So
yeah. Something else I did want to bring up before we can move on, which I thought was very interesting to me was, so it's in DC. You have 2 trains of thought in my head, right? You could go, in my opinion, the easy route here. Mr. fucking America, John Cena in DC, the heart of the fucking America against Gunther at the end there. Saturday Night's Main Event. That seems like a big deal. Someone else threw out this curveball, and I'm curious your thoughts on this as well, which I was like, this is a full circuit moment for JC and everybody. You're in DC, in America, against the fucking Mr. America, John Cena. And where did he start? Against another Mr. America, Kurt Angle. And I was like, I don't think Kurt can do it, but what a fucking
I think we talked about this last week.
This would be so fucking funny though.
But let me put it this way for you, because we've seen Cena doing these full circuit moments like Sami Zayn. Is there someone who debuts like the way Cena did against Cena in DC in his last match?
Sure. That's a good point too.
I don't know who that person is. I'd probably have to think of it. I mean, they're pushing Tavion Heights as Mr. America as the Olympian down in I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if he's the guy as we've seen in that feud. But yeah, no, because I feel like Cena's not going to lose his last match. So that makes it interesting, but it's like, who do you end with? And he might have a say. I'm sure they have an idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went out the way he came in, except for he's Kurt Angle and the other person's John Cena.
Okay. I don't hate that either.
Yeah. I think that's how I would do it. I just don't know who that person is. I'd have to think about it. because I just
Corbin will retire soon and get the fuck out.
Honestly, that would be fucking great. Bring Corbin back. He can say he took out 2 American heroes.
Oh my god!
And then he can fucking pose with Trump because he's probably gonna be there.
Oh god! At least the WWE's not the White House, which may happen someday. Who knows?
UFC is gonna be at the White House, so WWE and UFC are the same thing. So that wouldn't be surprised.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah, Danny just said he should fight Donald Trump. I thought Donald Trump is definitely going to be there for this. There's no doubt because what's more important than running the country? Going to entertainment events.
I don't know. So, is there anything else you want to move on to that?
I have one more piece of shine, and it was a banger from Monday Night Raw where we had Rusev versus Cero Miedo Penta. I love my Clash of Styles, and this was a fun match. You take a luchador violent style against a fucking brute style, and I thought this was a beautiful match. I enjoyed it. Obviously Rusev, they're pushing him for something, whether he's going to win a title or he's going to be putting someone over. Like, they're giving him a pretty strong push right now, building him up to be a monster. I'm interested to see how they handle Dom, because especially if he wins that AAA championship, he probably doesn't need the IC title anymore. It's been nice. So him versus Rusev straight up is weird. That's why I thought it might be like a triple threat with him and Penta. But maybe Rusev just fucking mauls him and Rusev holds that title and eventually puts over somebody younger who's going to win it from him. But they're clearly pushing him for something. But in general, this match was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And the New Day, I believe, is the reason why Rusev won. They came out and they cost Penta because that thing's still going on. But
you're missing the fucking big news here, though.
Well, you gotta. I told you before, my brain's a little broken.
Rusev over the weekend got to be in a fucking NXT match.
I know
against
Oba.
When I saw that, I went,
"That's who it is." Oba debuts on the main roster in an IC title match and beats Rusev.
There you go.
Boom.
That'd be fucking dope. That'd be dope.
Is.
That'd be dope. I would love that.
Yep, done. I forgot about that because I did see those clips. I was out to lunch this
I have never wanted to see a meat match more than in that right now. Like
that would be the greatest meat match of all time.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's good stuff. Good fucking stuff. Machka. He doesn't really Machka a lot anymore.
No, because he's kind of running with the
Redeemer
AEW gimmick, which I liked. I like the Redeemer gimmick too.
All right. So you have nothing else that's positive?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Why do you?
No. I'm in my head.
Well, I am curious, legitimately about Asuka and Nikki because a lot of people said it was a really good match, and I'll be honest, I watched it, but I wasn't paying that close of attention. So
I think we talked about this last week, where I think that Asuka's done such a great job with the character work, and Kyrie kind of being afraid, which I thought was really funny, and like a really like comic, like not comic, but a comic, kind of way. The match itself was fine. I feel like this is just, I don't even know exactly how to describe it, but like when I was watching this match, the only thing I could think of was she's doing the best she could, but she's not doing a good job. Like the crowd was hot for it at some point, but then it kind of died off a little bit. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting was she tapped out, which is definitely something that we've seen 2 weeks in a row. Sheamus last week as babyface tapped out. And I guess you could say that Nikki Bella is in fact a babyface, but I don't know. I'm curious, like, especially now with AJ Lee, like you just said, I feel like shipping Nikki off to SmackDown would be a really nice choice right about now.
Yeah, because I mean, it's AJ Lee was better than her in the Divas era, and she's better than her now. So Nikki, it's good.
Shipping up to SmackDown.
Oh.
That'd be my thought. But yeah, I don't know.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I wanted to make sure that I said. I will say very quickly, Black and Priest had a really good fucking match on Friday.
Yeah.
Obviously they kind of fucked with the ref at the end there to get the win, which that means it's not over. I love that aspect of it. I think, Black's doing a fantastic job, and I think they should continue this whole little feud. I thought it was really, really fun. So I really wanted to make sure that we put that over. I am curious. It's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. The AJ Styles promo that was on commercial break. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
If it's during commercial, I don't see those because I have ads.
Okay, so I didn't either, but it came up on my feed. it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek promo about him being alone for the first time and no one having his back. And he says, I'm going to go as far as telling people that there's somebody back there behind the curtain that doesn't want me here anymore. And the crowd was like, ooh, whatever. Like they thought but probably a work shoot, but like, it was really interesting to me because like, I was just like, okay, cool. Like it could be Dom. You could be using the Triple H leverage to what we all keep thinking. There could be a couple different things here because the El Grande Americano thing is happening. So it's really interesting to me. It's a nugget. It may not be see the light of day here, but it definitely adds to the AJ Styles persona here because it sounds like if you listen to everybody, then they have no fucking clue that the February seems to be the end of AJ Styles, and he's getting some feelers out here about where he might go next, if at all. So it's just interesting to me with that comment that he said. I'm sure it was for a reason, but it is interesting.
Yeah, I would think, but he's not going to go on TV and not do what he's supposed to do. So, and I mean, he's kind of hinted anyways that he might be done soon. He's kind of said like the last contract he signed, he's like, if they weren't paying me so much money and letting me fucking go home whenever I want and be part-time, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. Because he doesn't need to, he likes his simple life, spending time with his family, doing all that, and still loves wrestling, but he doesn't need it to survive. Like you know what I mean? So, and I think we are getting towards the end here. I would guess since February is a weird time that they will probably give him a short extension, at least through like Mania. I think they could do it. They can just extend it a little bit if he wants to, if he is truly done. But I do think they're going to do some more stuff in TNA with him before he's done. So maybe that's a way to like work that in and get him to show up over there. Like they don't want me here, so I came back over here where I came from or something. Or maybe it's like something Joe said is like they're giving him an edge again. Maybe not turning him heel, but kind of making him that badass because he's been pretty milky white for a while.
Yeah, I mean, when he was part of the Bullet Club, he was dope. When he was in TNA before the Bullet Club, when he was riding by himself, he was pretty dope. So, like, I've always been an AJ Styles guy, at least for the most part anyway. So I'll be curious to see how he ends his career because he's kind of been one of those guys that deserves more than he's probably gotten in life. And I'm sure he's very thankful, but I think a lot of people I don't think people will really, really understand how important he is to wrestling until he's gone like 10 years down the line. But
yeah, I think it's just, I wouldn't say that people, I think it's more of like they've just forgotten a little bit here because obviously it's just, he hasn't had the impact he initially had. But when he came to WWE the way he did that felt like such an incredibly important moment in wrestling when he debuted at that Rumble. Like that was a huge spot because he was the guy outside of there and he came there and it's been kind of a trend. But yeah, I think he started that whole like movement. So, and he's amazing. This is a very pro AJ Styles program.
Phenomena. Anyway, shall we get heaty? Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off of my TV. You got to go for it. Go.
Can I go first?
Yes, you can.
We got literally the worst news ever this week, Nestlemania, on Twitter. Wednesday night, that fucking little goat, boring little fucking loser, Bryan Danielson, will be starting as a full-time commentator on AEW Dynamite. Looks like I'm not watching with volume for the rest of my life. He fucking sucks at it. He's bad at it. He's annoying. But most people are like, oh, he's so great. He's so great. Fucking losers. He's terrible. I think Tony Khan might have blocked me because I replied and said fucking horrible or something. And you know how soft he is. But I had to start with that because that literally ruined my week. Fuck him.
You do not like the American Dragon. That's for sure.
It's not that. It's just like the way he was like, I mean, I haven't liked his AEW run pretty much at all, but that fucking farewell tour that wasn't really a farewell tour just was like so disgusting to me. I fucking hated it. I thought it was just poorly done. And just like, he's like, you know what he's become? He's become like how I was with The Undertaker for a while. Just insufferable. Go the fuck away. And also like, you can have a role. Like, I like that he's backstage. I love the fact that he works for the Young Talent. I think he has a great mind. I think he's an incredible wrestler. I do think he's funny and stuff, but it's just like, I'm sick of him and I don't like him on commentary. I legitimately don't think he's good on commentary. I think he's fucking boring. I don't think he adds enough like interesting things. I think people just like him, which is why they say he's good. But if you actually listen, he fucking sucks. So get him off my TV, Adam.
Who the fuck is Adam? No, look, I will say this much. As a wrestler, like you said, one of the greatest technical wrestlers you will ever see in your life. I still think he's highly entertaining in terms of the promo department. I think he's probably a pretty decent human being, so I'll believe this. I'm sure he's a wonderful person. But in terms of the commentary, I think he will take away from the match instead of enhancing the match. And I think when you make yourself more important than the matchup, which this is my biggest gripe about the whole thing. I obviously looked at it a little bit differently than you because you have a personal vendetta. It seems like
only because of what he's shown me.
I know, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying mine's slighted a little bit. Is that AEW is not where the stars are. And if there's a bigger star on commentary making big noises, you're going to be distracted and wondering who the fuck that is and what they're doing and not the action in the ring. Now, Excalibur, that dude is like the micro machine guy. He doesn't take a fucking breath and he keeps fucking going. Good job, him. Schiavone, he's like
he's the one getting the boot.
He's getting the boot because guess what?
Taz, who I do like, but it's Brian, Taz, and Excalibur.
I'll say this much.
Collision's going to have Schiavone.
I'll say this much. I love Taz. Taz is one of my all-time top 5 wrestlers. Taz. He's the reason I wear orange.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But...
No. For me, it's a person. I'm not saying like top 5 the best. I'm just saying my like, like you have your people.
Yes.
He's my people.
I have Maven. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So pot, meat, kettle. But I just say this much: is Taz has been, and Michael Cole has said, Pat McAfee's great, but Taz is my favorite commentary partner of all time.
Taz is the best color commentator.
And he just got a banner, which, if you watch, it was, I don't know if you watched this video, it was very uncomfortable. It was Tony Khan and Taz about them not doing it on Dynamite. And you could just see Taz being like, this guy pays me a boatload of money and loves me. And I just feel like I'm cringing every time he talks, but I'm going to agree with him because the check clears and I need my son to get to NXT at some point. But yeah, I mean,
he just signed a new contract apparently. So
I know. But like, I kept thinking like Excalibur's going to talk a lot. Taz is going to just have to chime in every 2 seconds. And I just like, here's the thought I had, right? I've never really liked the 3-man booth in general in any sport particularly. But that's just me because I like someone telling me what I'm watching. And then I want someone to explain to me inside baseball, no pun intended, or something that would enhance and color inside those lines, color commentary.
Yes.
So that's the way I approach the subject. But you're going to tell me that we're going to have Taz and Bryan Danielson talking, who are both incredibly good technical wrestlers, who are very good in a lot of different ways. But like, these two are going to be stepping on each other's toes. If you were going to make Taz a full-time on Dynamite and put Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson on Collision, maybe people would watch Collision.
That's also a better fit because like you said, like they are so similar. Like if you're going to do the 3-man boost, I need drastically different. That's the reason why a guy like Booker T actually works better in a 3-man booth than most because he is just so unique. Whoever you put him with, you can play that dynamic. Mm-hmm. Like that can work. But that's why like when they mess around with like a guy like JBL, same way. Right. He's so extreme that it's just but like Taz and Danielson are going to be so similar and Taz is just better at it. But you're absolutely right. If they announce Daniel Bryan for Collision, I wouldn't be as upset. I don't watch Collision anyways anymore, unless if Joe tells me there's something I have to see, but I usually don't have time. But it would be a better fit there because, like you said, maybe some more people would watch that fucking stupid show. But Brian doesn't want to work Saturdays.
So our boy, the Joe Sauber says Schiavone, Heenan, and Tenay was the only exception to 3-man booth. I do agree with you, but Joe, if you listen, Schiavone was the fucking traffic cop. Heenan just got jokes. That's why. Yeah. Sorry. And then Tenay was the historian. Yeah. So he filled you in on these guys that nobody knew about. So that was a very specific logic. There's no logic with this at all.
Yeah, and I will say that's a good point because I did want to say when we talk about Tony there, because when you watch the show, like he's not overbearing on commentary except for certain things he comes in. But it's like it feels like
sorry.
No, but it feels like he's the guy that like he's willing, like I'm going to take a back seat and let these two guys be the focal point. And I chip in every now and then. Like I'm more like I'm the third man, but I'm more of the contributing third man. And that's why I was like, okay, I can deal with it because it feels like he's just an extra guy. It doesn't feel like he's constantly has to butt in because it's like especially the way Danielson is and he kind of drones on. Like I think it's gonna be hard for Taz to get in. And it's like I want to hear from Taz in most situations.
Joe saying he should try to beat Tenay, he being, of course, Danielson. So I don't
it's
think
not
Danielson
capable.
has it in his personality to not put himself over or not try to be funny or not try to like make a point longer. Like we both know that Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Bryan are like buddies and like best rivals and whatever. So like we get that, but my Lord, like I get that some people want to be on commentary, but this is almost to the liking of Jericho being on commentary.
Oh my God, another one, insufferable.
So
again, do it on Collision. That makes so much more sense. Like, be like Brian. We're putting who does Collision? Is Nigel do Collision still, or is
Nigel does? Yeah, and I think Ian.
Yeah. So it's Ian, it's Nigel, and now Tony's going over to do that show as a third man. It's like, but if like just keep Schiavone on Wednesday and put Brian over there. Yeah. Done. Let him and fucking Jerk Off Boy. They can jerk each other off. They're best friends. Let him and Nigel just go to town because I don't need to watch it. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anything else that's got you hot and bothered there, JC?
You should go because I can't believe we talked about that for that long.
I know, but what a good rant. We got a couple of applauses here in the chat seats.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where I want to start. Okay, well, it's not really a start. I'm just looking at the list as I go down from SmackDown. Well, it's not necessarily that bad, but it was just Tiffany again with they have not done anything with Tiffany in the last like 4 fucking weeks. We're going to have a rematch here with Jade, which to me feels like the most unanticipated thing we could care about.
Watch Jade win this time, too.
I know it's going to happen. Yeah. Naya's being like, whatever, she's thrown in there somewhere. We've got a Michin and Julia. It was a longer match.
I'm very upset at this.
Go ahead.
You know why?
You got.
Do you know why? 90% of this match was during commercial break because of fucking the Cena show, which I love Cena, but it's just like they jammed in Black and Priest, and they jammed in this. And this, I like Julia's amazing, and like you're trying to get her started. And I think that they were like 4 commercial breaks during this match. This entire match was during a fucking commercial. It's like this is how you take advantage of Cena. Is you want Julia to be one of your like next stars in the women's division. People need to fucking see her on a show that is going to be very well watched. But it just like this match was so hard to get into because like literally we'd be on screen for like 2 hours. Up another commercial or a picture. It's just like it was exhausting. I was very upset because I wanted to see this because we've talked about it. It's like Julia's like on TV every week, but she hasn't been wrestling. And the whole appeal with her is her fucking wrestling right now. They're just dropping the ball. Like WWE, they're like, oh, woman? Psh, we don't know how to do that. My name's Bruce Pritchard and Triple H. We don't know how to book women, even though there's a fucking stud at doing it in NXT that they could call for advice.
Hey,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Just like that this is the same company. Like, doesn't that blow your mind that you can watch NXT and they could book an entire show of women and we wouldn't notice because it's all so good and they have so many women's storylines. And these are women in developmental. Then we get to the main roster. And if you listed the fucking names on Raw and SmackDown, be like, holy fucking shit. They don't need men either. But instead, it's just like, no, we're just going to do nothing. It's unbelievable. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I was trying to watch intently in the picture-in-picture and stuff because I was just thinking, hey, she's really trying here. And I thought that Michin, which we give a bad, tomato can thing to, but we tried to watch it and it's just not there. So I don't know. It really upsets me. It just upsets me because I feel like there's just no effort. And I think we've talked about it too much, but there's just not a lot of effort. We haven't really talked about this, but I am curious your thoughts as we continue. We haven't talked about the Usos reuniting and the LA Knight kind of whatever and a Monday night rerun main event that happened on Monday.
I haven't talked about it because it's the Usos. I love it. They should do it. And the Jay thing stuff is interesting. Without the Jay LA Knight dynamic is the most interesting part of this. But it's just like everything else is rinse and repeat. What did I say last week? The main event is a combination of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker versus a fucking Uso or LA Knight or fucking because CM Punk doesn't normally wrestle on TV. It's just like it's literally been like this since WrestleMania. It's like, oh, we have a fresh face. We have Jimmy Uso in the mix. Like, they're obviously that they booked that match, the Bronze versus the Usos. Like, that's cool. Usos reuniting here for a short term before Jimmy probably takes some time off as we get closer to the baby. But like I said, the only interesting part to this to me that I feel like I have to pay attention to is Jay and LA Knight. Because besides that, it is Monday night rerun. The show starts the same way every week, and it ends the same way every week, and I'm over it. I'm just so over it.
It really bothered me because, and I know this is going to be a old hat thing here, but I actually thought that Jimmy came off looking fantastic in this promo. He had the crowd laughing and the crowd doing, like, he just showed his personality, which was great. We can talk about Jay at some other point, but I will say I was critical of LA Knight before, but I was watching him in the ring, whatever segment he was in, and a backstage segment. He flubbed every time. He made a mistake every single time. If you keep yelling that you're going to be world heavyweight champion, my man, listen, you better make sure you don't flub, you don't miss. Like, you're talking so fast. Trust me, from someone who's got marble mouth, from someone that just, his mouth cannot keep up with his brain, I understand this more than anybody else. But if you're on television, you're getting paid millions of dollars, you're selling fucking t-shirts like hotcakes, maybe slow down a little bit here, because honest to God, I was watching it going, he just had a fucking brain fart yet again in a promo out on the, in the ring, as well as backstage. And I just thought, man, this guy is going to fuck up his own trajectory because he can't slow the fuck down. And then I was watching him like fight, and I was just like, what the hell am I watching here? And like you said, the most interesting thing here is about Jay. That's it. The rest of it, I don't know. I don't care. And honestly, the Vision just seems like fucking overgrown henchmen that don't have anything to do because the CM Punk and AJ Lee thing is so massive. What are they going to do? Those two big brawnies going to beat up AJ Lee? That's not well for TV. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. We're in this like weird vortex still. I don't know. It really is weird. It's a Vision vortex.
Yeah,
it's odd.
I'm just so over it, man. I can't. And you know how I love Braun Breaker, but it's just like I'm just so over this. And like, I mean, I'm out. I'm out till they do something different. And I don't think they are anytime soon. We're in this we're like this never-ending fucking vortex.
So I have two hopes. So I feel like, do you have anything else, or do you want to just kind of get hopeful?
How'd you feel about the other El Grande being back?
I don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah,
I do not want to talk about it anymore.
I just thought it had to be mentioned in the heat, but we can move on.
No, I know. But here's the thing. If there's more than one and it's not Gable, I do not give a shit. If it's Gable and it's Ludwig, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Anybody else in the fucking...
Ludwig might have surpassed Gable at the
Absolutely.
He's done such a good job.
Yes, he has. He has. And honestly, he does the fucking... Just the whole presentation is better.
It's so good.
And it sucks because Gable was doing a great job.
But it'll be good when he comes back, because if they want to, they can make Chad a babyface out of this. If they want.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what the other thing they haven't used? The Creeds or Ivy Nile.
Yeah, they've been off for a little bit now, because at first they had like an interaction with this new one, but it's just been, so I don't know.
They have nothing for them.
Yeah, I think it's probably some of that, because the tag team division on Raw doesn't really exist, because the New Day's feuding with a singles wrestler, and the champions just do whatever they want. And the Viking Raiders did something this week. I don't know what.
Yeah, they had Penta's backstage.
Oh, that's what it was. So we're setting up a 6-man tag with the New Day.
Can't fucking wait for that.
Oh God,
it's tough. It's tough.
Let's get hopeful. Ross sucks, dude. Thank God
right,
AJ was on it, or else and Rusev Penta, or else I wouldn't have even fucking watched.
So I have two hopes, if you don't mind.
Go.
All right. So glorious. You're my only hope. I have two hopes, and this is one thing that I want to talk about very quickly. Is the Nikki Bella situation. So my Nikki Bella situation is she's just not working out, folks. We've talked about her turning heel, and I think since they're booing her anyway, and they're not really behind her, and there's so many other women that they want to cheer, I was thinking, JC, now this made me very much concerned. However, if we're going to make something, maybe some lemonade out of lemons here, Stephanie Vaquer just wasn't at Raw for the contract signing. We don't know if it was of illness or a travel problem or God knows what. Hopefully she's okay. But if you watch that backstage segment, Nikki Bella had said, trying to step up and say nice things about Stephanie Vaquer. I thought to myself, what would be fucking really ridiculous here? Just drive it hard in the paint. She fucking is the reason that Stephanie Vaquer cannot be in this thing. She wins the championship from Io Sky. Let the fucking internet lose their shit. Doesn't have to be a long reign. Could be if you wanted to. But having her as the world champion on Monday Night Raw would piss so many people off.
It would piss you off.
It would. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think that it would actually be good television. And I'm willing to sit through it if it's going to make me angry because it's making me have a visceral reaction to it.
Can I amend your hope?
Go ahead. Was it one of yours?
No, I think you're on the right track.
Okay.
I draw the line at her being champion because the first thing you said that, I'm like, that means she's going to come out here and cut promos every week.
I know.
I can't. So what I would do, I like how you started. She's the reason why Stephanie Vaquer isn't there. Io needs a fill in, and it's, I don't know, Rhea, Asuka. It doesn't fucking matter. Raquel, Roxanne. It doesn't fucking matter. I feel like they're going to put the title back on Io at this point. But Stephanie comes back eventually and finds out it's Nikki. And that is the feud because that's how it started with Nikki coming back. She called her Vaquer. And obviously, like Stephanie definitely has love for her because her being Latina, like that's someone who Stephanie growing up like saw because that's Nikki. The same thing with like Lola and all them. Like Nikki's very important to all of them because and it makes a lot of sense. So I could buy this, and it's also a creative way to make it that you don't have to make Stephanie champion yet, and you give her something to build. You let her get a win, and like you said, that's a good way to utilize Nikki. So I think you're on the right track. But the champion thing,
no way, no how. I have very quick. So I do want to bring this up as a second hope here. Yes. Since we did kind of dabble in it, and I should have brought it up then, but I do want to think about this. If you listen very closely on Monday, Jimmy had said to Jay, you're acting like somebody else we know. Because he had said, I'm going to beat him up and I'm going to make sure he acknowledges us. And then I'm going to smash him. And then he says, you sound like somebody else. And then he speared LA Knight at the end of Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. This is a wild shot in the dark, JC. Wild shot. But I'm thinking like, if we were, indulging with a little bit of, CBD, maybe THC, and we were shooting the breeze in terms of trying to come up with a creative for Jey Uso, that was not a throwaway line. And him being animated and upset and then spearing, all that shit. And he said, smash him. When he said smash him, I went, that was the beginning of the original tribal chief. I think, now call me crazy, that we might be on the roller coaster ride and the start of Jey Uso, the tribal chief. Because not only 5 years ago was he the right-hand man and supposedly the successor to being the tribal chief, but now we might actually see him create his own tribe and become the tribal chief at some point. And then if Jey can get to even a couple of levels behind Roman, but a little bit higher than a solo, I could believe a heel Jey Uso with a bloodline thing against a Roman Reigns by himself. I think that would be a very interesting juxtaposition where we were 5 years ago and spinning it back to the bloodline. But I just think that there's some meat on the bone there making Jey Uso the new tribal chief.
There's something to explore because, it's obviously going to be hard because of the E thing, but like even with Roman, like he still got big reactions. So it's just like, that doesn't matter. But I do like that they're hinting at something different here for Jey because I think he needs it. Like he had his title reign, he lost it. Now he's reuniting with his brother, but we know that's not going to be like super long because then Jimmy's going to be taking time off at some point. I think it is interesting. I think you're absolutely right. So I love the idea of something with him and Roman clashing because of it. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, go ahead with your hope now.
Ready for my hope? So every segment of the show is going to have AJ Lee in it, except for Heat, because always in the shine. So always in the hope. AJ Lee, she's back. So what am I going to hope for? Well, Nestlemania is pretty fucking simple. She looked damn good with that Intercontinental title around her waist. So you know what? She's sticking around for a while. After this tag match, I hope she fucking beats Becky Lynch. She gets to put another notch in her trophy case. She'd be a good champion. It'd lead to some creative matches. And look it. I have an end game of who should win it, but you could do some fun things along the way, Nestlemania, because, what happened when Paige debuted on Monday Night Raw?
She won the Divas Championship.
From who?
AJ Lee.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, obviously there'll be some Roxanne stuff along the way, but wouldn't that be something if they did it again? Paige won the IC title in a return against AJ Lee. Paige also got the internet going crazy on Instagram this week because she posted some bikini pics and people were very happy with that. But now that AJ's back, I think Paige might have a little more motivation to return, and the story makes sense. So just saying. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag JC hopes come true. Hashtag Nestle's going to Instagram right now.
Give me a minute.
But yeah, that's my hope. You want me to go to my comeback? I'll go right to my comeback.
Sure, can you?
Nestlemania. Guess what? My comeback this week is AJ Lee because she's back and she's the best. And she's my favorite wrestler. She's everyone's favorite wrestler, including your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. So, I mean, look, I can talk about AJ all day. I'm so happy she's back. She's a stud. I think there's a lot of fun things to do. I'm excited that it seems like she's going to be around for a while. So yeah, I'm thrilled to have her back. This was like the last one for me. I don't know who I hope for next to ever come back. It's crazy, but this is one of the most anticipated ones I had for a while, and it happened. It was one that I wasn't sure we'd ever get. I had a feeling we would because it's been hinted at enough, and I think she's seen how happy her husband has been since he's been back and how different it is. And I think some of the things that kind of like led to some of her demise in WWE, like that stuff's different now. I think she's very excited about what to do, and I think people are very excited to have her, as am I. So AJ Lee, you're getting my comeback this week.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Just, you know exactly what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, sorry, I got thrown off because that was a bit the spicy meatball. Listen, my comeback goes to one MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, excuse me. Michael. He got married. Good for him. And he's been off TV, and now he's wrestling whatever the fuck his name is, Mark Briscoe. We're not going to worry about that. But he got married. He's the death of a bachelor. He seems very happy. Whether or not his pictures for his wedding got leaked out and pissed him off, that's one thing. But he's very happy. I'm excited for him. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. So when I saw that, I popped and I was like, oh, cool. Nobody really knew about it. So I feel like he did a good job hiding it. And some people deserve their privacy, but I'm glad to see the photos and I'm glad that he's happy. And hope the sky's the limit for that family. So congratulations to everybody involved. And she's a Canuck. So, you know, Canadian people seem to be really nice. There
you go. And she works with him. So someday we'll get to see her in WWE when he goes there.
That's true. Let's just stop her saying all about. Every time she says about, it throws
her
me
last
off.
name is like pronounced like Atu.
I know.
It's not a tout like the T sound.
Well, she won't be having a real name. She goes to WWE, that's for sure. So
yeah, she'll be like
Alicia Aboot.
Yeah, Aboot. Yeah.
Vancouver Canucker. All right. Yeah, so I guess I said we go to the big old finish now.
Big old finish, Nestlemania on SmackDown this week. We have Drew versus Orton, actually. So I guess that's not on the pay-per-view. I wrote that down. You think I'd know that. We have Brock Lesnar live, but no Cena because he said no more SmackDowns unless if he lied. And then, like you said, we have Tiffy versus Jade. So that's actually a pretty loaded SmackDown in the go-home for
is it the go-home for the Palooza?
I think so. Oh, no, it isn't.
It's 2 weeks to Roy. So
damn, they're really stacking this card. Interesting. But yeah, so we have all that. And then on Raw, we have John Cena live, and we have Roxanne versus Lyra. I'm excited for that. Them to run.
So we're gonna have Brock on Friday talking, and then we're gonna have Cena live on Monday talking.
My guess is Brock might be there Monday as well, though.
We'll see.
Dun.
Is that all?
AEW?
Yes, I do. You ready? We've got.
I saw a preview. There's one thing I'm excited for.
We know. There's one match in particular here that's very exciting. We've got Hangman Adam Page in a grudge match, a Philly Street probably fight or something like that. I don't know. It's a grudge match against Josh Alexander. Yawn. Couldn't give a shit. Moving on, we've got Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, taking on. Oh, this is the Philly Street fight. Excuse me, against Sky Blue, which is interesting. Haven't seen a lot of Sky
that,
Blue.
Baby. Well, she's in the what do they call it? The Triumvirate. My girl there, her and Julia, and then they have that Spider bitch.
Sign a better name, like just fucking call them something.
I don't know what their name is, but Sky Blue's awesome. I'm excited.
We've got Mercedes.
We call that the Rompadom match.
Yeah, boy, you're damn right. Is this a tag match? I can't tell. If
yeah.
Okay, tag match. Mercedes and Emmy, my goodness, against Alex Windsor and Riho, which should have got my comeback, honestly, because Riho is fucking the human doily cover, but god damn it, is she great.
Who'd you give your comeback? Oh, MJF.
MJF. I should have given it to Riho. There's something about Alex Windsor that doesn't excite me. I'll be honest. So, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you make the joke all the time.
It's not sexually transmitted. Nope.
There's talent. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, because they wrestled last week, right? And I don't know, because that's why Rio came out and made the save. Yeah, I don't.
Is Emmy the one that does the rock star stuff? I can't remember.
Is it Emmy Sakura or is it a different Emmy?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was the one that did like the Freddie Mercury thing. I've been off.
I think the first feud I think was Riho and Emmy Sakura for the title.
Okay. Well, I forgot. Anyway,
that was a long time ago.
And then of course, if there was ever a JC main event and everywhere in the world, folks, Shelton Benjamin taking on He's Bald Ricochet.
They're both bald. I love this match. This is amazing, and it's on AEW, so they'll probably give them time, which excites me because this match in WWE, we might have got it, and it was probably like 3 minutes. In AEW, they'll let them cook. So that's one thing AEW does good is when they put a match with two of my favorites, they get to cook. I'm excited. There's going to be some Gaga, I'm sure, as well. But yeah, I'm all in on this, and let's do it.
I don't think there's anything else that I missed, but I'll scroll quickly. But I doubt there's very much anything.
Hopefully, we get some Cope and Christian because that's my favorite thing on AEW right now. Them versus FTR.
Also, apparently, Don Callis beat up the fucking Boom guys or whatever. The Boom Kid, whatever his name was.
Oh, you know what sucks? Apparently Wardlow already tore his pec.
Yeah. Well,
poor guy, just too jacked. And then the rest, I have so much Don Cal. Like, I enjoy like the act, but just he has so many people. It's just like they're everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. So did
you see this? I lost my train of thought.
It's fine.
So how when we talk about AEW.
It is what it is. I'm not interested in All Out or whatever the hell is going to happen, but it is what it is.
I'm interested in Christian Cage and Adam Copeland versus FTR. I don't know what else is going to be on the card, but I'm probably not interested.
Anybody against Hangman doesn't matter. It's so bizarre to me. Hangman had one of the weirdest first world title reigns, and this one was like a fucking amazing
moment.
And then now it feels like no one's going to really be in his way for a very long time.
It's just MJF.
Yes, but you're waiting.
It's like, yeah, they're putting that off. Like they teased it, now it's gone. But it's like, who else is believable that could beat him? It's Moxley, but please don't do that anymore. So it's like, in terms of heel, it's like it's going to be Takeshita, it seems like, right? Which I guess he's the only guy who kind of booked like that. The other one is Okada, but he has enough titles.
Yeah, but you can have anybody in the Don Callis family screw him out. So it just feels like I don't know. I like a sense of danger for my world champion, regardless if it's a male or female. I just want them in danger if they're babyface.
Especially if they're babyfaces. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's important. You need a believable challenger.
There should be multiple challengers. And that's something that sometimes AEW does well. They don't book it well, but like the best time you have babyface champion is when you have tons of people seeking. And you can mix babyfaces chasing them too. Like it's just like I want to see like a list of like all these people want the title because guess what, Nestlemania? If it was real and it wasn't written by writers, everyone would want a piece. So when you do that, it's like, I believe this. Everyone wants to be world champion. Mm-hmm. Why do we have to wait in line? We don't.
I will say this much, JC. They did have it sort of by the grasp of the balls when they had Hangman, MJF, Swerve, and I throw Osprey in there, maybe a couple others that were sniffing the main event at the same time, and you didn't really know. And that was exciting to me as a fan. Yes. I was watching it being like, any one of these guys.
Which guy's going to be the one?
Yeah, and I think that's exciting to me. But now the other two are gone, so that's it. And now we're kind of just waiting for MJF to win it. So it's like, okay, well, the element of surprise is gone now too. So, it is what it is. So,
yes, sir.
I think that's pretty much it. You ready to get the fuck out of here?
I'm done.
All right. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.
Let's light it up.